What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Derek, and today I want to share with you a new addition, back there under one of those covers, a new addition to the collection. Welcome back, guys. So yes, I've added a new bike, or new to me bike, to the collection. It's back there under covers. I have to get some crap out of the way so we can, uncover it properly and so that you guys can see it. But yeah, we've added a new bike, and let me know in the comments of what you think it is. But I'll start to give you some hints, and then we'll go over there and take the wraps off of it. But as you know, your boy's getting older, and as much as I love super bikes, my back and my mind are not always in sync. So when I go for rides on the Superbike for longer than 20 or 30 minutes, my back certainly lets me know. And because I'm older, it takes me a little bit longer to recover from those things. And I have an achy back for weeks on end kind of thing. So I decided to purchase something that is still sporty, still has lots of power, still looks good, still is Italian, and that I can ride with comfort. So, having said that, I'm going to go over here and clear some of this crap out of the way, and then we're going to take the wraps off the bike and we'll talk about it a little bit, maybe even go for a ride.
A few moments later.
All right, guys, so I got some stuff out of the way, as you can see. And before I take the wraps off of it, again, pause the video, let me know in the comments what you think it is. I think it's pretty obvious, but it's my bike. So let me flip the camera around, we'll take the wraps off of it, and we'll go from there. All right, so in the back is my beautiful Panigale V4 Speciale. I love this bike, super fast, comfortable for a sport bike, and it's the last Ducati Superbike that did not have winglets. So, and you guys know that I'm not a fan of winglets, so I love that bike. That will probably be the last Ducati Superbike that I ever own, because winglets just aren't growing on me yet. It is what it is. Yeah, we can agree to disagree. I understand that they are the wave of the future, and that will be on everything going forward. I get it, but clearly I'm showing my age and becoming an old guy. I don't care for winglets. No one makes a good-looking winglet that they put on a bike, and certainly none of the winglets that they put on the bike are useful for street-going machines. Track machines, absolutely. Street-going, no. But this is my new to me bike. If you don't know, I don't like purchasing brand new motorcycles. This is a pre-owned bike. I've purchased that Panigale pre-owned. I purchased this bike pre-owned. The BMW that's in pieces, the MV, and most of my bikes, with the exception of my 1199 Panigale. Motorcycles and cars, trucks, so forth, are not investments. They are depreciating items, so they are losing value every day. And new motorcycles, new vehicles lose the most value as soon as you drive them off the lot. So I'm a bit of a penny pincher in that regard, so I don't like buying new motorcycles. My brother, on the other hand, believes the exact opposite. He buys everything new, and he has a lot more bikes than I do. So, but this is my bike. What do you guys think it is? Put the guesses in the comments. Put the guesses in the comments. All right, let me put this on the tripod and finally take the cover off of this thing so you guys can see it. All right. As soon as I start to take the wraps off, you guys are going to know. If you don't already know. This is my Ducati Diavel 1260S in all black. So it does have some minor modifications right off the bat that I purchased the bike with it already done, and I've done just a small couple of things here. But let me grab the camera and bring you in a little bit closer. The red pinstriping you see on it was already done by the previous owner. That is painted on It is not a decal or, you know, stickers. I'm not crazy about it. It's growing on me. I don't mind the pinstriping, but I'm not crazy about these designs here. And when we get around to the front of the bike, you'll see I'm not crazy about that either. Similarly, we have designs on the rear mudguard. But it did come with a few options already installed. So it did already have the Arrows exhaust. And I don't know if you can see down in there, but the DB killer is not installed. And this puppy barks. It does have the anodized red fill cap for, or reservoir cap I should say, for the rear brakes. It has this item wrapped around the rear brakes because the angle of it is kind of weird. You can't, because you're sitting up, you can't really get a good push on it. But I don't use the rear brake all that much to begin with, but it is what it is. It has these Evotech frame sliders on it. And it has these Pazzo Shorty brake and clutch levers. I added the bar and mirrors and took off the stock mirrors. I also added the ShiftTech quick release fuel cap along with this Shorty windscreen, dark. It's adjustable. So you just rotate this here and then it lays flat, or you can push it all the way up. It pushes just enough wind up over your head. So you still get some helmet buffeting, but it pushes just enough up over your head so that the ride is fairly comfortable. The pinstriping up here, you can't see it. It's sort of behind, I don't know, but it's very Transformer-esque when the windshield's not on it. So I'm not crazy about that. So I'm thinking of painting the entire bike. It already has attachments for the phone and the charger. And we have an attachment over here for another controller, which we'll talk about later. The micro TFT display and the turn ignition. What I do love about this, it does have a keyless ignition, so I could put that key in my pocket and just come over here and hit the button, fire it up, and away I go. So gone are those times when you get pulled over by your local law enforcement and they like to reach over and grab your key. So in my case, my key will be in my pocket or my backpack. So unless they want to illegally search me, they won't be grabbing any keys. Nevertheless, I don't often run into that type of scenario. So this is my, again, Ducati Diavel 1260S in all black. Let's give her a quick start so you guys can hear her bark. So I will just push the lower button here because the key is right there on the seat. So I'll just push this lower button here. I'll push up this and then hit. Turn that off. Whew! She barks, she barks, she barks. I don't know how this is going to do, but we will see. I don't know if it's better that way. Yeah, it is a little better that way. Okay. Let's audio sync these things. 3, 2, 1. Alright guys, well hopefully you can hear me the exhaust and the wind. We're just going to take a quick spin down the block here. Won't do anything spectacular. Oof. That sounds so good. I love that they added a quick shifter to this bike. It is really, really good. It's nearly as good as my my Panigale V4. Sorry about the angle on the camera here. I don't typically use this mount for camera, but I figured I'd try it this time, and I got the sun in the back, so I'm pretty dark and all that other good stuff. If I do that, you could probably see me a little bit better. But yeah, this bike is super comfortable, has a nice big seat. It's a little bit wide, but it narrows down in here, but it is a little bit overall wide. But still very comfortable, low seat height. I can get both of my feet on the ground. And I'm clearly, obviously, more upright with the handlebars and the seating position. But this bike is super nimble. And a lot of fun to ride. And I can ride this bike for hours on end. My commute in the morning with a vehicle is about an hour and a half. It's about 2 hours to come home just because of traffic, the way it is. With the motorcycle, I can cut that to about an hour, so anywhere from an hour to an hour and 15 minutes, because I can lane split or lane share. But this bike is freaking awesome. Listen to this downshift. I didn't even downshift, that's just the burble. So let me hit the downshift here. This is a quick shifter. It's like butter. It is so good. I was telling my brother, I don't know why I waited so long to get this bike. I've ridden this. Well, I should take that back. I've ridden the first gen Diavel maybe 10 or 11 years ago. Phenomenal motorcycle. Loved that thing. I always said, oh, I'm going to get myself one of those. I'm going to get myself one of those. And I never got around to it. Then my buddy Paul bought a Diavel V4. And he loves that thing. He couldn't brag about that enough. And he has an latest gen RS V4 along with the Gixxer 750. And he's like, Derek, this thing is the most comfortable, easiest riding thing I've ever done in my life. I don't know why I've waited so long to get that bike. So I said, you know what? I can't let Paul have all the fun. My brother was buying a whole bunch of bikes. He bought a brand new Ducati Panigale 916 anniversary edition, along with an M series S1000RR. So he's buying all these cool bikes. Paul had just bought a cool bike. I'm not going to be left out. So again, I wanted something comfortable, something that I can go on long rides with. There's enough seat cushion back there so that my wife, if she wanted to, she can hop on the back and we can go for a ride up to Prescott, something like that. We can take Yarnell Hill. We've done that on her Can-Am Spider. Someone out on the quad. Watch the sand and dirt over here. We'll accelerate here. And I love the CRG bar and mirrors that I put on here. As you guys know, I'm a big fan of these. I put them on all my bikes, including the sport bikes. They're just so much better than the stock mirrors. The stock mirrors on this bike mount to here, so this is the mount for the brake master cylinder, and it's the same over here for the clutch master cylinder. And you can't see anything but your shoulders and elbows, and they flop all over the place. These are nice and solid. You do have to take your eyes off the road to look over here left and right, but you get used to that pretty quick. But these are solid. I can see everything behind me. My elbows aren't in the way, my arm, forearm, shoulders, nothing's in the way. They don't vibrate. They're just phenomenal. I highly, highly recommend them. CRG Arrows. I rode this back to back with a brand new Diavel V4. And while I preferred the V4 over this bike, the V4 is, I think it starts at like $26,000, $28,000. It currently doesn't have an S model, so there are no Olin suspension or anything like that. And after you added the Termi or the Acro exhaust, that made that bike, you know, just north of $30,000. And I simply didn't want to pay that. I could buy 3 of these bikes for a brand new Panigale V4. So I didn't think the V4 was that much better than this pre-owned 1260S. I like the muscular. Dirt bikes are out and dudes are riding, quads and so forth. We can do that out here in December in AZ. So people out riding, having a good time. But I really like the muscular look of this bike. So everything you're looking at, this is not tank. This is 3 covers. So this is a piece of the cover. You got the center piece, and then you have this right piece. And then the tank is underneath it, and it's pretty ugly. I can understand why they covered it. But this is not all fuel tank. The tank is under here, and then you have a guy out on his Harley. But then we have air intakes because the air filter sits under here as well. Like I said, Olin suspension, Brembo brakes, and just a nice, comfortable riding position. Look at that, it got even people out on their horses. That's awesome. Different kind of horsepower right there. But yeah, you guys have to let me know what you think about this new addition to the family. I have no intention of parting with the MV, since we just completed that build, so that bike isn't going anywhere. The Panigale, I love my Speciale. I told you guys that. It's not going anywhere, at least not anytime soon. The BMW, that may be leaving us. I don't know, but only if I could get something else. Like I said, I like the MV so much for the track that I don't see myself riding the BMW a whole lot. And I've owned it for a long time. It may be just time to part with that and get something else. Who knows what else? Maybe I won't. I'm getting up there in age and not doing a whole lot of riding anymore, at least not on the street. Still love my track days. By the way, I'm going to be doing a review on this helmet. It will be my next video. That's what this controller is for over here. So I don't want to give anything away, but it has a built-in camera and some other smart devices in it. And I can do navigation, control the camera, or make or receive phone calls. So I'll let you know how everything is going, how everything works out in the next video, but you get a quick sneak peek at what I will be reviewing in my next video. All right, guys, so what do you think of my new to me Ducati Diavel 1260S? Do you think it was a good pickup? Do you not? What do you think about the sound? I love it. But anyway, that is it, guys. My name is Derek. You guys know the drill. Like, comment, subscribe, share, or smash it if you're into that kind of thing. Until next time, guys, take care.